All right, now we're moving on to formation, types of contracts here. The formation of a contract and contract law revolve around several key concepts and principles that dictate how contractual relationships are established and enforced. We got some important points to consider when establishing and enforcing a contract, and we'll see these are different types of contracts. We'll have plenty of examples. An express contract, this is one that is formed by oral or written language where the parties explicitly state the terms and conditions of the agreement. Now, both oral and written express contracts can be legally binding if they meet the necessary requirements for enforceability. Next up, we've got implied in fact contract. Well, this one is formed by the conduct of parties rather than explicit words. The terms and conditions of the contract are inferred from the actions and circumstances surrounding the agreement. Again, we will see examples of these for sure, so don't worry about that. Quasi-contract implied in law. This is not an actual contract, but actually rather a legal remedy that allows a plaintiff to recover a benefit unjustly conferred upon the defendant. This remedy is applied when there is no enforceable contract between the parties, but the court determines that fairness and justice require the defendant to compensate the plaintiff for the benefit received. Next up, a unilateral contract. This involves only one promise, typically made by one party, who is the offerer, in exchange for the performance of an act by the other party, the offeree. The contract is formed when the offeree completes the requested performance. I know, I love jumping into the examples. We'll see, these are the examples we will see. But this, you hang up a poster saying lost dog, reward $500. That is a unilateral contract. That's one party making a promise to someone, whoever it is, that completes it and returns the dog. And then bilateral contract. This involves two promises, one from each party. The contract here is formed when the promises are exchanged, and both parties have an obligation to perform their respective promises. All right, well, for a contract to be legally enforceable, we have a few requirements, and they pretty much make sense. We'll go through. Some are common sense, and some are just other rules as well. Agreement, there must be a valid offer and acceptance between the parties. I think that's pretty fair. I don't think anyone would disagree with that one. Next up, we've got exchange of consideration. Well, both parties must exchange something of value, so that's money, goods, services, or a promise to do or not do something. That could be a possibility as well. Now, we will see how these don't have to line up. We could have a legally enforceable contract. If I am giving you a $10,000 car for your $1 million house, I mean, yeah, there's as long as we're not getting into any related party or tax or anything, there's no reason that would be legally incorrect. However, if that was, as we'll see, like through duress, if I forced you to do that, obviously that would break it and make it so it's not legally enforceable. And then lastly, lack of defenses. The contract must not be subject to any defenses that would invalidate or render it unenforceable, such as fraud, duress, illegality, or incapacity. For example, if I've got a good friend who just wants to replace a part of my car, which normally would cost, I don't know, $1,200 at the dealership or the mechanic, and they do it for free, or maybe I buy them a six-pack or something like that, then that would be an example of the exchange of value not matching up, but that is a legally enforceable contract. I mean, if we could agree upon it, hopefully nothing comes from it, nothing bad, nothing among friends getting damaged there. And then, yeah, if someone holds a gun to your head is saying you have to sign this piece of paper, fraud, I'm going to expose you if you don't do this, anything like that, that is not going to be a valid contract. If someone's in a coma and you use their hand to scan their fingerprint to enter into a contract, something like that, you log it to their account, that is also illegal, not allowed. Now, generally, contracts do not need to be in writing, but we'll see that some do, and we're going to cover those on a later slide. Hey there! Are you ready to not only pass your CPA exams, but truly understand and enjoy the material while studying? I know it seems impossible, right? Especially to enjoy the material? We'll do it together. Tap into the power of CPA.examprep.ai, where we've got personalized quizzes, multiple choice questions, memorization guides, flashcards, simulations, all tailored to your learning. Our adaptive study planning puts you on the fastest path to success and lifts you back up if you fall behind. Avoid wasting your precious time and money attempting an exam with a low chance of passing, because who wants that? We want to get you through this process as quick as possible. Our exam readiness prediction lets you walk in with confidence, knowing that you're prepared for success on exam day. Thankfully, there's no payment method needed to get started, so why don't you come join us? Visit cpa.examprep.ai and let's achieve your exam success together.